Hi and welcome to Josie Nicole Photography's YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking about how to get your couples to relax a little bit more when you're shooting them, because getting photographed is super nerve-wracking. You know, we've all been there. It sucks. It can be really uncomfortable, and the goal is to have clients that are relaxed and comfortable and just totally looking beautiful. And so yeah, that's what I'm going to talk about today. I have a couple tips and tricks up my sleeve that I like to use, and you can totally feel free to try them out for yourself. So obviously we all know that we, in an ideal world, would love to have wedding clients and just general clients that we're photographing that are pros, models, you know, people who are super comfortable in front of the camera, have lots of experience, know what works with their body and all that type of thing. But unfortunately, most of us don't have clients like that, and that's okay. You know, I live in a government city and most of my clients are super not model-like. They're not comfortable in front of a camera. They don't know how to work their body for the camera. And honestly, I've learned so many amazing tips to get them to loosen up so that they look really good and confident on camera, because that's all any client ever wants, is just to look so good, right? That's all we all want. The first tip is actually just walk and talk with them. And I'll pretend we're walking to the location. I'll be like, oh, it's just over here. And we'll just walk and I'll talk to them about what they can expect. The whole shoot, I want them to know exactly what they're getting into before it starts, before it formally starts, before I take pictures. Before I take that first photograph. So this is something I do, really prime them in the booking process, because I think it's just good so that they know the type of photographer you are before they actually hire you, so that they can make the best educated decision when hiring their photographer. But again, it really, I think, needs to be reiterated on the shoot, on the day of the shoot, the day of the wedding, or what have you, because they're likely not going to remember that, and you can get more specific. So I'll talk to them about, you know, the approach I have, cues, prompts I'm going to give them, things to look for. You know, I'll get into the details of the types of things I'm gonna say, the fact that I like to kind of set my couple up in a beautiful pose, get them all tweaked so that they look their best, and then I'll give them cues. I'll be like, okay, now start swaying. And I kind of tell them that ahead of time so that they know what to expect, so that when I'm setting them up in a pose, they know that it's a kind of rough guide and a temporary state of being, so that when I do say, okay, whenever you're ready, they can go forth and do all the things I've suggested, or just listen to me yell out those cues and prompts. So that's my first tip to get your couple to relax, is prime them, prep them. The point is that you're getting them ready so they know what to expect. It's just like if you start, you know, a workout video online or something like that, they always start by saying, okay, today we're doing X. So it's the same thing, like you need that prep so that they know, you know, what they're getting into. Tip number 2 is to get your couples moving. So I just posted a previous video, or my previous video that I posted was 3 posing tips that you can use. And one of them was, sorry, my chair is really squeaky. I'll stop moving. One of them was kind of related to this, but it's to get your couple moving. So the first pose I'll do, for sure, sometimes even the next kind of 2 or 3 poses after that, will involve movement. So I get them running, skipping, jumping, hopping, leaping, dancing. Any type of movement works. It does not have to be anything in particular. You know, the trend is kind of the drunk walk. Just do it, follow your heart, you know, do what fits you and do what fits your couples. But get them moving, because it's a great distraction. They're focused on each other, they're focused on themselves, and they're not focused on being in front of a camera or you, the camera person, right there, you know. And usually, because they're in movement, I find I usually am further away from them, which means I'm not yet in their face. By the end of the session, they know what to do. At the beginning, they don't. So, you know, give them space, give them time, and give them a task to do. Movement is the simplest way to do that, especially because a lot of couples just want to go to a park or somewhere really simple. So just simple movements. The third tip is to allow them the space to give you feedback during the shoot. And I don't mean like constructive criticism or their genuine opinion on how much you charge them or anything weird like that. I really just mean like, did you enjoy doing that pose? Let me show you. You like that? Let's do it again in a different location. Things like that. I try not to show them too many pictures on the back of the camera. I usually only do it once or twice, if at all. But you know, if they're, I guess what I'm trying to say is if they're struggling or if you're struggling and you can tell they're not quite relaxed, show them a few things you've done and then be like, okay, which one do you like the best? Which one resonates with you the best? Which one do you want to do again in a different spot? Change the background, change the scenery. That's tip number 3. Tip number 4 is actually to just talk. Just talk. Talk. Like me making this video right now. I swear, talking helps, and I don't mean rambling on about your morning and how you spilled your coffee and it sucked and then your baby started crying and blah blah blah. I mean engagingly talk and communicate with them. How was your day so far? What did you do? What are your plans after this? Have you been binge watching anything awesome? You're not just there to photograph them and get in their face and do business. You know, you're a part of the experience for them. This is something fun for them to do. It's like going out for a night out. They get all dressed up. They're super excited. They don't know what to expect. They're nervous. So like play into that. Have fun with them. You know, my boyfriend and I have paid for shoots many times and done like photo exchanges with friends, and honestly I have to say there have been photographers who kind of don't really talk to us that much when we, you know, are walking and doing things and not actually taking pictures, but the in-between moments, and it just made me more nervous. It just made me more uncomfortable. It made me want it to be over sooner, and ultimately I now associate those photos with that emotion and that feeling. So for me personally, I just really like to engage as much as possible, and it's not always easy, and sometimes your couples don't give you a lot to go off, and that's okay. You know, if you think they need space, if they're talking amongst themselves privately as you're walking, just let them be. You know, read the room, do the best you can. Talking helps the most though, because it distracts them from their own thoughts. So talk. But the final tip to make your couples relax is if they're looking stiff in your photos or in person or anything like that, I cannot stress enough how much has changed my life. And I honestly have to do it with every couple because no one's that comfortable in front of the camera, but this is a game changer, you guys. Are you ready? Get them to inhale and exhale together. And here's what I do is I'll literally do this. Okay guys, I both want you to just take a big inhale and let it out like a yoga teacher. I do that like a yoga teacher. It lowers their shoulders, it opens them up, and it absolutely relaxes them. And you can do this multiple times throughout a session, but I find you'll hit a point after your first couple kind of, you know, shots and angles where they're just not really responding the way maybe they initially were or the way you want them to, and that's when I do it. And I find I only need to do it once, sometimes twice. But if you need to do it a lot, just do it a lot because it freaking works. People forget to breathe when they're nervous. And when you are in that state of posing them, you know, if you watch my last video, you know that I like to pose people, I like to set them up, and then I'll give them cues. So once they're posed, I'll be like, okay, now sway. Someone's calling me. Anyway, as I was saying, when you are in this kind of mid pose, people tend to tense up because you're kind of directing them, so they're just listening to you and roboting to what you say. So getting them to breathe before you actually start shooting will, you know, allow them to relax into that pose or posture that you have them in. And yeah, those are my tips. That's kind of all I have to say, which is a lot actually, but I feel like I could talk all day about how to relax couples because it's one thing that I used to really struggle with so much. Every shoot was such a struggle, and looking back now, I realize that like I needed to work through that to come out on the other side and know what works for me and for my clients. And I just want to share them with you because I found that it was really hard to find resources on how to relax your couples. There's so many posing guides out there, but no one actually really talks about, you know, how to relax yourself, but also, you know, your clients. And I guess your clients come first, and then you know, as an effect of that, also relax. So those are my tips. I really hope you found them helpful, and please subscribe and comment if you like this video. If you also have tips and tricks for relaxing your clients, please put them below. If you want more of this type of video, let me know, because I'm happy to do multiple parts of these types of things, because that's awesome, and I just want to help you guys out a little bit with some of the things I have learned to grow and know in business. So thank you again for watching, and I'll see you at the next video. The second tip, I only wrote down 2, and I feel like I forgot to finish. Oh my god, you're such a tool. Hello?
Hi, this is Pineapple Express Delivery. I'm going to be at your apartment building in about 2 minutes.
My weed is here. Just kidding, it's CBD for period cramps, because it really works, guys. Capsules do it.